Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be playing around with scribble sticks and stencils to make a really easy background. So I'm starting off in my Large Dilutions journals and I'm using some scribble sticks to do this background. Now you could use any water-based medium. In fact, you can use any medium at all to do this. I'm just choosing to use a water-based medium. My trick with the scribble sticks is to press a lot harder than you think you need to get some pigment on the page. I used to struggle with them thinking, I'm not getting much out of them because they are quite hard in feel to use. So if you actually put some pressure on them, you get this beautiful pigment, and you'll see when I react it how much pigment you get from it. They are much tougher. The sticks are much tougher than you think, so I quite often wouldn't press hard on them because I thought, oh, I'm going to snap them, but in actual fact I never have. So you can press a lot harder than you think you need to. Once I had finished, I'm just going to water activate it, and you can see that beautiful pigment comes straight up. So because it's me, I'm mixing this with my fingers. You can obviously use a brush, but I just sort of wanted to blend it together a little bit. Then I'm going to dab off any excess wet because I just wanted to soften the colours and blend them together. And then I'm going to heat set it because it's me and I'm impatient and I want everything to dry quickly. Now I'm going in with my big stencil. So this is the Magic Gardens mask from Stencil Girl. The reason I'm doing this is twofold. First of all, having a large image over the top of the page ties it all together. But the second reason is, particularly using water-soluble mediums underneath, once you put the gesso over the top, it actually can sometimes reactivate the pigments, and you get this beautiful, you'll get patches of pure white and you'll get patches of more pastel colour where the pigment sort of seeps through the gesso, which I really like because you just get this gorgeous blend of colours on the page. So once I finished doing this, I really liked how it turned off, and you can see the really soft bits and the really bright bits, but I decided I wanted to put some patterns in the background. So I put my stencil back down again and I'm actually going to stamp through the stencil. So this actually creates a bit of a trick of the eye because you're only going to get the stamping on the parts, the stenciled parts. Where it's masked, you're not going to see anything. And it's sort of, you're a little bit confounded by, well, how have they actually got marks there? So it's just a really cool little trick to make your stenciling a little bit more interesting as well. I'm using quite a bright colour over the top just so I can bring back some of that brightness. I'm also going in with a little bit of black because I haven't got any black on my page, and that helps tie things together. And you can see immediately on those darker areas, so the lighter areas, like the yellows and the greens, where that black really sort of sticks out a little bit. Because I want to add a little bit extra on the top, now I'm going in with some mark making over the top. Again, going back to my scribble sticks, using the colours I've used in the background. So there's all this repetition. I've got this repetition of an image over the entire piece. I've got a repetition of colour. I've got the repetition of the stamping. So everything's kind of making sense on the page. Because these are like crayons, it's really easy to make marks with. You know, they're not going to bleed on you. They're not going to put a big blob on your page where you need to. So it's a really, really handy way to do it. So that's a really easy background to create. Now I'm going to finish this off by doing some collage over the top. But you could cut, you know, a page like that up. You could die cut it. You could make it into ACT backgrounds and do all sorts of different things with it. I'm going in with a little bit of collage once I find a glue stick that will actually work. None of them are. So popping some glue on my piece, and then I'm going to create a body with some leftover pieces of card that I've made ACTs out of previously, and just using the strips to create the body of my image. Again, just using some glue to glue it down. I think I end up, yeah, there you go, cutting off the end of it. If it all succeeds, or doesn't succeed, just cut the end of your glue. So just popping the glue down, overlapping a little bit so I can get all my pieces on, and I'll just trim off that extra in the end. And then I'm going to go in with some pens and so on, just to give a bit of a edge to that body so it stands out from the background. So I'm using my Scribble oil pencil, once I've sharpened it, to add a little bit of blackness into my page again, and to really push this image out from the background. Because the background is quite busy, because the body is quite busy, having that little shadow to pull it out really helps with your collage. Then I'm going in with some tissue paper. These are some stamp types onto pink tissue paper, and I'm just sticking that onto the page. Usually when I'm doing sort of abstracty bodies like this, I'll put a washi tape art or something like that on, but I really like this because it's translucent and we could see through the pattern in the background. Finally, I'm going in and thinking about what sort of quote I want to write on my page, and I just wanted something really, really simple. So don't look back, you're not going that way. On the page, quite long skinny letters. You saw I made a bit of a spelling mistake there, so just with a bit of a wet wipe over the top I was able to rub that away. I didn't want to do too much to this, so I'm just colouring in the centres of the circular letters, just to again give a little bit of brightness back to the page. So really super simple. I love using the paint pens because they dry so quickly. Again, I tend to put a bit of heat over the top because you can see where I've got my arm. I'm quite good at putting my arm in wet paint, so I like to dry things off just to make sure that I don't do that. Finally, I'm going in with my white pen and just giving a little bit of a highlight to each of the letters. It's very subtle on the page, on the screen, but on the page it does actually help pop the letters out again. It acts kind of like the same as that shadow around the collaged image. So it just pushes it out from that really bright background to make it stand out a little, which I love. Also with the pink bits, I'm just going in and adding a little bit of white into those to help them pop out, and then with the eyes as well and around my height, again to make it a focal point. So this is a close-up. You can see all that stenciling in the background and the really easy background using the scribble sticks. The fill page with a little bit of collage over the top, but again you could use that background in any way, shape or form that you fancy. So I hope that inspires you to break out your stencils and some of your water soluble mediums, and until next time, bye for now.